In this video, I'm going to be going over update leaks and ideas that I have for Grow a Garden that will make it hopefully go back to where it used to be. As you know, Grow a Garden has been significantly dying in the past few weeks, and I have a lot of things that I have came up with and you guys have came up with that could totally fix this game. The only job for the developers is to literally just listen to the community. As you can see, the Grow a Garden game active player count is at 200,000 at the time I'm recording. Keep in mind, less than like 2 months ago, the game used to average around 2 million or so players playing at a time well after the update. But if you guys agree with any of these suggestions, make sure to subscribe and like this video so that way it reaches out to more people and hopefully the developers see it and implement some changes. The first suggestion I had was buff weather events. If you guys don't know what buff weather events is, I'm gonna be honest, I made up the name, but it's a very good idea. As you know, right now, up to this date, after so long of this game being out, if you go ahead and plant any of like the newer eggs, bro, like, you know what, let's just go ahead and do the bug egg or the jungle egg. Why not? Since it's the newer one. If we plant it, it takes literally 8 hours to open, and the bug egg also takes 8 hours. A lot of the newer stuff take a lot of time to open. And yes, technically you could go to the Garden Ascension and say what are you selling, and then go ahead buy more egg capacity upgrades, but this has a limit. What the developers need to implement is weather events that happen in the game, similar to, like, you know, how we have rain and stuff happening, but except instead of it giving you mutations and stuff that it has been doing for literally so long, ever since the game has came out, instead it would give you a buff to like your egg speed hatch. Or for example, if you're cooking, there could be one that buffs your cooking speed. These are little suggestions that the developers could definitely implement, and it would actually reward people for staying in the game, because then they'll be able to do these egg hatches faster instead of having to wait. Technically, we kind of have this in some way or form with like plants growing. You know, when it rains, it increases growth speed, but we don't have it for eggs or anything like that. We could also even have events that increase your luck while you're hatching your eggs. So if you hatch an egg during that event, you have like 2 times luck. And I did make a little update poster leak type of thing for this type of update. And everything that I make suggestions on would fall under this mystical type of update, where it can depend on, you know, these mystical changes, or I guess you could call them mystical events. And I think it'd just be so cool. As you can see, this was the little concept art I made using somebody's suggestions who actually recommended this type of plant. As you can see, it's a type of mystical thing, and this thing could be the one that actually buffs your egg luck and all of that stuff, or it could just be based off of a specific type of event. We have gotten something similar to this. I would say the fairy update was a type of mystical thing, but this looks way better than the fairy update ever would. And they could even do this with specific types of events. For example, like if you dig at a certain time, you get way more digs, or like the dig timer comes down faster. Because as you can see, no matter if I dig, bro, like watch, I just use 7 digs or 5 out of my 7 just to get a mummy hand. I mean, it's not bad, but like that is one reward out of all the possible 6 that you could get. It feels as if these updates have just been completely unbalanced, and as a tester myself, I know that the developers don't really care too much. For the most part, most of them don't even like make changes, even when people tell them that the update kind of sucks. So developers, if you're watching this video, please, bro, all these suggestions are literally for the betterment of the game. The second suggestion is to not actually get events every single update. For the longest time, the Grow Garden updates have just been event after event after event. And yes, while some events of those are fun, like for example, I think this event is pretty good. With it all being together, it's pretty good, other than the fact it's not balanced. But the problem is that the rewards are for the same exact thing, and it's not very interesting. Like, yes, I know I can go ahead and get seed packs or some seeds, but how is that interesting? Like, I know there's a random reward, and it's probably going to be some gears, seeds, and stuff like that. And, like, look at the chance of the Weeping Branch, bro. The new seed is literally a 1 in 200 chance, and the quests are not even easy. I mean, they have definitely nerfed them a lot, but still, it's not a very fun event to play. Instead, we should get stuff in the game that actually stays in. For example, one of the things we got most recently, or one of the newer things, was the pet mutations. Now you have all kinds of mutations. You can even get them straight out of the spooky chest and stuff like that. It's cool because it's here to stay and you can constantly make your pets better. Now, I would definitely argue that the pay to win, especially inside the Twilight packs, putting this ghostly dark Spriggan and then nerfing it is absolutely scamming the player base, and that should totally not even be allowed. I doubt it is. Like, I'm surprised Roblox allows the developers to release a pet and then nerf it to the ground after people have bought it because it used to be good. So first of all, I don't think this should even be in here, but it should definitely not be getting nerfed either. But we would love to see more features inside the game that actually stay. One of the new things that they also did was the Evo apples. You know, they added an evolution event and they added evolutions to certain fruits. But they literally just dropped that after like the next update because they just added one apple thing into the shop. And ever since then, we've gotten nothing. And also, if you didn't even participate in that event, you cannot do this because in order to even get an Evo Apple 1, you need the beetroot Evo, the Evo blueberries, the pumpkins, and the mushrooms, which are no longer possible at all. I don't know how the developers came up to that conclusion. Yeah, let's make something craftable that people cannot even craft anymore. But hey, it's there in case you have those. This next suggestion was actually an original idea that somebody else made, but I looked at it and I thought this was really cool because I thought of something really nice. Somebody suggested this. Shout out to Ash. As you can see, they said, I don't have an idea for what this is going to be, but if Jandal sees this and puts it up to him for what he is going to do with it. And as you can see, there's basically this part 1 Angelic and this part 2 demonic event. Yes, I did say that we should definitely not be getting infinite events, but this could be an event that stays in the game for a long time. Let's say like 3 to 4 weeks. Now, this person did put it in a part 1 and part 2, which personally I don't like. I would actually say that it's better if you get to choose a team, whether you want to be on the angelic team or the demonic team, or maybe the game even chooses for you. But you can complete quests to win against the other team, which reward you with some really cool mutations and pets maybe. As you know, they did start introducing some of the admin pets. Like, for example, the best reward in here, one of the best pets, the Rainbow Mizuchi. This is literally an admin pet that came into the game. So yeah, I definitely think it'd be really cool if we had 2 variations of events and you get to fight for a specific team. And who knows, maybe after a while they let you change your team in case you don't like the team you're on. And these updates and events that the developers have been making should not be hard to the player base. Keep in mind, Grow Garden is not a grinding game, developers. This game was made for fun and relaxation. That's literally the reason why I think so many people enjoyed it and why a lot of people aren't playing it anymore, because it's no longer that. It's turned into a very like grinding game where the developers are making balance changes and stuff that is not right, because they literally put caps on fruits now without even telling you, regardless of the amount of mutations you have. And as you can see, one of the most popular things right now is this post saying, please make the update easier. Make it to where we don't need hard mutations like Bloodlade, Spooky, etc. Make it a less of a big circle, such as for, you know, the ritual and stuff like that, such as stop making everything so pay to win. This is something that Jandal has actually been doing in both his games, Plants vs. Brainrots, as well as Grow a Garden, because they are both kind of dying. And, well, look at that. There's the circle. Yeah, this circle is huge, bro. Like, I'm going to go ahead quickly count how many things you actually need in order to participate in this. 23, 24, 25 different plants and mutations that you could possibly need in order to complete that. That is ridiculous. And yes, you do get to do it with people, but then again, this is all a chance of you actually getting the severed spine unless you complete the entire thing. But yes, these updates should not be hard nor very pay to win at all. Adding a Twilight pack and adding a ghostly dark Spriggan, which used to be very good, and then nerfing it is not only just pay to win, but it's also literally scamming. The next suggestion I have is more so about admin abuse, actually. Recently, all of the admin abuses, and I mean the last 3 that we've had, have been absolutely terrible to the players. The developers have not actually been restocking it, and while having a concert, which was really cool, and you know, they restocked one thing, which was the Great Pumpkin Seed. Thank you for that. It has not actually been very good aside from that. There has not been restocks of literally anything else, and I mean Grandmaster Sprinklers, Level Up Lollipops, and all of that. None. You guys, the players, join in this update very early in the morning, hoping to get some rewards. Some people literally wake up and go back to sleep just in order to be able to get some good rewards from the nice admin abuses that we have. Now, in the most recent ones, it hasn't been like that. It's literally just been purely plant mutations, which are literally useless because everybody has tons of shekels. The developers haven't done anything about it, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, this number is a lot lower than it used to be, but there is 6.1 million people interested in the next update. And when the developers host admin abuses that don't reward anything in games like Steal a Brain Rot, definitely reward a lot more and they're definitely a lot better, it becomes no competition that people don't want to play this game anymore and they would rather play those games. I mean, they literally used to reward admin pets or like things such as, you know, for the admin abuse war, you had the shiny lemon lion, which is really good because it provides some insane boosts, such as, you know, applying the brain rot mutation, which is 110 times multiplier, as well as things such as giving 1,000 XP every 10 minutes. And also, we've not been getting the Sunday admin abuses that we were promised. As you guys know, a bunch of videos back when I was making update ideas, I suggested Sunday admin abuses, similar to how Grow or Steal a Brain Rot does Taco Tuesday. But the developers never did it for a while until they said this. They made this poll asking people if they're interested in some of the admin abuses during the weekdays/Sundays, and people voted yes, and they actually did one. But you may have not even heard about it because they never announced it. They just randomly decided to do one on a Sunday, and ever since then, they've literally never done it. The reason why games like Steal a Brain Rot are able to constantly peak at these times is because all the players know about it, and they actually announce it to their players. I mean, look at the peaks right here when the admin abuses are announced for Steal a Brain Rot. And then look at Grow a Garden's peak. It peaked at 4 million players during a concert on the weekend of the day of the update. That is literally a third of what Steal a Brain Rot got on a Tuesday. And I know Jandel competes a lot against Sammy, but I'm sorry, Jandel, until you start listening to the community and start making the changes that the players are asking for, I mean, the Steal a Brain Rot is winning. The Brain Rot kids are winning, bro. But something I can tell you guys is that this new event is probably going to be completely gone after this weekend. This is probably the last week for the Halloween stuff, unless the developers decide to keep it in for one more week and instead provide events or updates, I should say, that are permanent to the game and they don't actually have to do anything with events, so that way you get multiple things to do. I think that is the best decision, getting some permanent features into the game and making quality of life changes that everybody has been asking for. And I can tell that the developers are trying to make the game more simple, which is technically good. The game used to be very simple, and that's, I think, why a lot of players liked it. Now it's a bit more complicated, such as them, you know, removing the pet eggs tier 2 shop. I thought it was a pretty nice feature, being able to feed the NPCs and getting rewards for it, but clearly the developers had another thought. And for some reason, they thought it was a great idea to remove the orange tulip, bro. Like, there literally used to be a seed called the orange tulip. I believe it was like a rare or something. I don't even know. It wasn't a good rarity. And now people are making posts saying that Jandel sucks because they removed a very poopy seeds. But why did it get removed? It could be their effort of trying to change up the stock, because the developers did leak that stocks was going to get an entirely new meaning very soon. And hopefully that's the case. You know, hopefully they're trying to introduce a new idea that is really fun into the game and not letting everything rot. One of the best ideas that the developers actually had was making every single plot bigger. They made this poll saying, would you guys prefer 5 server size still, what we got now, or we make it server size 4 and we make it so you can expand your plot more? A lot of people chose to make it 4 and expand your plot a lot more, because that would mean that the developers are able to actually take out 2 of these gardens. The player count is currently 5, but there is 6 gardens. So when they make it 4, they are able to completely get rid of these 2 right here. And that gives us a way bigger garden size that allows us to do a lot more in it. Like, imagine you could add a little farm cosmetic into your garden and then place different types of like fruits in it. and your plants could eat it over time in order to keep their hunger up. Like, that would be such a cool little idea, bro. Sometimes, you know, I wish I was a grow garden developer, but I'm not for a reason. But I'm very interested on what you guys think of a lot of these ideas. I think these are suggestions that could purely benefit the game. I mean, it's always nice to, you know, get more seeds and stuff, but after a point, bro, that gets boring. Like, knowing there's a better seed, yeah, that's cool, it's worth more, but shekels aren't worth anything. I literally have 900 QA. Until they can find a way to get rid of that, I don't care about anything else. But technically, they could add more gears and all of that. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any suggestions, comment them down below. I'll be sure to heart them. But if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and watch this one on the screen right here. I went ahead and handpicked it for you. I really think it's interesting, and I think you're going to enjoy a lot more. So hurry up, click it fast. This video is about to end. Until then, bye. Subscribe.